Parents, I hate to break this to you, but you need way more than parental controls to protect your kids online. Hey, I'm CyberFareedah. I'm an award-winning Forbes 30 Under 30 online safety educator helping you protect your kids online. First, let me say that I'm not against you getting a free or paid for parental control or parental monitoring service. I do have my thoughts on parental monitoring in particular and some of the ramifications that can happen when you're installing it incorrectly, when you're using it in an environment where your kids don't feel safe, they don't feel trust with you, it creates really sneaky kids. We can have that conversation later. This video is not for that. However, I'm not against using it. You just have to use it properly. The problem is that even if you are using it properly, chances are you're in the set it and forget it mode. You feel like, okay, I downloaded it once, we're good to go. I set up a couple of things and my kids are protected. I have to do a couple things here and there, but like not much else. The set it and forget it attitude with parental controls does not work for one reason, is that any app you set it and forget it is just not going to work well because you're going to have to continuously update it, especially if they have security or privacy update. The second reason is you're probably setting up a parental control, but you're not looking to see, is there a way to actually make sure that the account that I'm using is more secure? Am I using a really good password? Is it a strong password? Is it a unique password? Do I have two-factor authentication? Do they even offer two-factor authentication? What do they do with the information that they are monitoring for on my kids' devices? That's a really important thing to think about. Recently, we found out that Life360 has been selling kids' location data to third-party companies. That is insane. Many parents didn't know that because they didn't see the terms and conditions and they didn't look into their account controls to see, is there a way to turn certain features off? Now, I don't blame the parents. It's all on the company. There's no way that they should be doing that without explicitly telling parents that's exactly what they're doing, but they did not do that. They also did not have security and safety considerations for the data that they were trying to protect. Besides the company doing something completely wrong, it does illustrate another point where the more that we get in the habit of every single time we download an app, especially an app that is made for protecting your kids, you always look through the account settings for privacy, security, and safety settings to be sure that you have everything either turned on or turned off. You never want the system that you're using to monitor your kids that has a lot of private information to be easily accessible by a predator or hacker. You must think about the online security components that goes into protecting your kids online holistically. This goes into my other point on why parental controls are not enough. Even if you're monitoring your kids and you've had a good discussion with it, they know exactly what you're doing, you have a trustworthy relationship, and the parental monitoring is something that they understand and are okay with, and you've agreed with that for whatever point of time, or you're also talking to your kids. If you're not thinking about online security, chances are your Wi-Fi is not secure, your kids' devices are not secure, your kids' computers are not secure. You might be doing things that are inadvertently making your kids less safe online. As a quick example, the first thing that many people look over is passwords. How are you managing your passwords? How do you create passwords? Are you teaching your kids as they get older and start managing their own accounts how to have good passwords? One way that you can actually implement great passwords is using something called a password manager. I recommend LastPass. I will put the link in the description and over here so you can see. But this is a great service to use to manage, create, and store your password. This is something that a lot of parents forget when it comes to protecting their kids online. Every single account that you have needs to have a really good password and extra additional security, safety, and privacy measures inside of every single account to protect not only yourself, but your kids as well. So it's not just one app that protects your kids online. Even if you have a parental control app, there are many different things. And even the parental control, unfortunately, as we all know, because it's really frustrating, doesn't even really provide filters and boundaries for many things. A game is completely different than social media. Social media is completely different than a website. A website is completely different than the actual device. So all of these things need all different types of considerations. Sometimes the parental control company is able to have like 3 or 2 out of 5 of the considerations, but it's not just one app that you need. I just mentioned LastPass is the second app. So you're going to need a couple of services, a couple of apps, and a couple of products to do it, but you can do it without it. But there still is a hodgepodge of things that you need in order to keep your kids safe online. It's not very complex. It's simple, but it's not easy. Essentially, protecting your kids online requires a holistic approach, looking at the bigger picture, providing a harmony between how you're going to manage your kids, how you're going to give your kids freedom, and then how you're going to keep them safe. This is not to say that I don't agree with having apps or softwares. I literally just mentioned one. This is just to say that never believe that one thing is going to protect your kids online online. And even if you have one thing or several things, never set it and forget it. Continuously update it, change your passwords if it needs to be changed. All of those things are required to keep your kids safe online. One thing that is not required is being tech savvy. So if all of this makes you feel like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do it. Number one, yes, you can do it. Number two, you can get help from someone like me. My entire YouTube channel is just for helping you on the journey to protecting your kids online. So if you're not already subscribed, then make sure you do so, and then hit the notification bell so that you can get all of the updates that I'm posting to help you protect your children and your teens in the digital age. Now, most parents, unfortunately, are using parental controls and parental monitoring absolutely wrong. And if you want to use parental controls or parental monitoring in a way that actually keeps your kids safe online and not an easy target, then watch this video next. In this video, I break down why parental controls only work under certain conditions that most parents don't know of. See you in the next video.